Vorderman, 60, pours ageless curves into wetsuit as she enjoys beach day with pal. Paul O'Grady, on grim moment, he used £5 note to pick up dog poo and spent cash in shop.
John Craven startled viewers after naked bath clip unearthed.
Hello and welcome to Barely Contained, the podcast that would level up the economy and build back better by whacking a punitive tax on the phrases posed up a storm, took to Twitter and Bradley Walsh. I'm your Chancellor, Matt Withers, and I'm joined as ever by my Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Chris Beckett, as we unveil a red box packed with the finest online journalism of the past couple of weeks, including Carol Vorderman's ageless curves, Paul O'Grady's soiled banknote, and John Craven's naked bath clip. Order, order. How are you doing, Chris?
Yeah, I'm good there, Matt. I can't help but notice might have been a subtle theme in that intro.
Yes, I am referring to the budget, Chris, and politics more widely. I'm glad to see that you picked up on that.
Yeah. How are you?
Yeah, I am tip-top. Thank you very much. And Chris, would you be interested in starting off this time with a story about the erstwhile countdown maths whiz Carol Vorderman?
Well, I mean, we haven't focused on Carol for at least 2 episodes.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a while. Well, this is from the Daily Star Online. It's by Jess Phillips, the multitasking Labour MP, we assume. And it's headlined, Carol Vorderman, 60, pours ageless curves into wetsuit as she enjoys beach day with pal.
Now, Matt, could you read that back to me word by word?
Yeah, it's Carol Vorderman, 60, pours ageless curves into wet. Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Have you spotted the same issue I have?
Yeah, because she's simultaneously ageless, but also has a very specific age.
Yeah, it's not quite working for me, that.
No. All right, well, maybe this will become clearer. The stand first is former Countdown star Carol Vorderman made waves in her latest set of paddleboarding snaps as she posed alongside a friend while flaunting her ageless figure by the water.
Is this one of those stories as well where every time they use the term ageless, we should drink?
Well, I would recommend against that, dear listener, because you'll find that this word makes several appearances in this story, if indeed story is the word.
Thesaurus.com, Jess. It's your friend.
Yeah. Okay, so we know that she's made waves. It's her latest set of paddleboarding snaps. This is obviously a regular thing for Carol. Carol Vorderman, 60, looked ageless as ever as she poured her curves into a clinging wetsuit for her latest paddleboarding session. There you go. There's your third snaps going down the gullet.
Yeah, she's obviously quite the paddleboarder.
The former Countdown star looks sensational in the one-piece swimwear, which featured skin-tight black trousers and pink and turquoise sections on the top. Paired with a pair of turquoise flip-flops and a waterproof phone holder to keep her valuables round her neck secure, Carol looked utterly relaxed as she enjoyed some time with her pals at the waterside.
Yeah, it's good to know what a waterproof phone holder's for.
Yep. She and a friend posed with champagne flutes in hand and matching sunglasses to ward off the afternoon sunset, while Carol's brunette tresses fell in beachy waves over her shoulders.
Back, son.
You got to ward off that afternoon sunset. It's like King Canute. Her pal's wetsuit, meanwhile, was cut into shorts with long sleeves, matched with a pair of dark swim shoes.
Let's not pretend that we're interested in her pal.
No, we don't know who her pal is. We've made no attempt to find out. We've not put a call into Carol or her people to find out who this mysterious pal is. Posting the sun-soaked snap to her Instagram stories, Carol simply captioned the sweet snap with 2 red love heart emojis.
Very much the Hemingway of social media.
Yeah, she can tell a story in 2 emojis. In another snap, she could be seen with her arms around her paddleboarding pals, with 6 all crammed in for the sweet selfie.
Hopefully not while on the water.
No, that would be highly dangerous unless they're forming some kind of elaborate aquatic paddleboarding Red Arrows team. But there's no suggestion of that.
No.
You meet new friends through paddling. My wonderful, funny, amazing soup sisters, she wrote.
Yeah. Now, that's soup as in stand-up paddleboard.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Were you already aware of this?
I was. I actually did some stand-up paddleboarding the other week.
Of course you did. Of course.
Not with Carol, though.
No. Okay, well, there you go. Every day is a school day. I did not know what a soup sister was. Did you know what a soup sister was prior to your paddleboarding?
No, I had no idea.
Do you have soup sisters?
No one I would think I kind of bonded with enough to kind of call a sister.
Okay, well, Carol has met new friends through paddling, but she had also introduced some of her existing friends to the water-based sport, sharing a sweet snap of her with a pal near the water. And my wonderful mates, including this nightmare, she wrote alongside the picture.
Rude.
Well, yeah, there's no need for that. Not the way that one addresses their soup sisters. Last week, Carol thrilled fans as she slipped into a khaki boiler suit, which clung to her ageless curves. Paired, sorry, I should have stopped there. Paired with a set of knee-high black boots. Standing in her walk-in wardrobe, Carol held her phone up for a cheeky mirror selfie as she grinned for the camera. Off to see an old mate. Haven't seen him for ages. Still sweating after that personal training session an hour ago. Hashtag showered. Heck. She's a very prosaic woman, isn't she?
She is.
Yeah, there's a reason that she did the numbers on Countdown and the letters were left to, well, I don't know who it was in her. There was Susie Dent around in Vorderman's day?
Yeah, I think Susie's been on for a while. Probably Giles Brandreth as well.
Brandreth, I imagine it's Brandreth that she's off to see.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's probably been having a PT session as well.
Yeah, he's a soup sister, isn't he, Brandreth? He's a Renaissance man. Fans flocked to the comments section to praise Carol for her fashion sense, with one writing, "Green Goddess." Another said, "You look great, Carol." "Absolutely stunning," another fan followed up. Carol is
the most original comments.
No, they're not. They never are, Chris. This is episode 49. I think you really should have learned something by now that people, they tend not to have a great deal to add to the gaiety of national conversation.
It's like, but it's always they rush to the comment section and then they have nothing to say.
They push elderly people out of the way to get to the comment section so they can write, "You look great, Carol."
Get out of my way. I have to tell her she looks like a green goddess.
Carol has also been undergoing some cryotherapy sessions amid her latest healing and health journey, slipping into a bikini to embrace the freezing temperatures in the cryo machine.
Okay.
The star could be seen with her jaw gaping open as she fought off the chill, writing on social media, "Cryo, cold," in a bikini and furry boots and thermal gloves. Got it down to minus 196 Celsius today. OMG, 3 minutes for healing and health. Loved it, actually. Stops me being a wuss.
I mean, credit to her that she was able to stand in a cryo chamber while texting.
Yeah, she really can. Nothing's going to stop her from posting. Right, Chris, in a change from the usual format, in a way in which penalties in football have recently experimented with the ABBA format, I have the second story. Would you care to hear about Paul O'Grady and a soiled banknote?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, this is from the Express Online. It's by Michelle Marshall, as we always say, the real name of Eminem. And it's headlined, Paul O'Grady, on grim moments, he used £5 note to pick up dog poo and spent cash in shop.
God, he's so bling.
Paul O'Grady has opened up about the moment he once used a £5 note as a dog poo bag.
Opened up.
He's opened up.
It's not been teased out over a dozen long therapy sessions.
Finally, we get to hear the story of how Paul O'Grady once used a £5 note to pick up some dog poo. Mm-hmm. Paul O'Grady, 66, addressed a grim incident when the presenter was admittedly caught short while out walking his dog Buster.
I think it was Buster who was caught short.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, no, it would be a very different story if it was O'Grady himself who was. I mean, we don't need to focus on that, do we?
Yeah.
We should probably say we have no evidence that Paul O'Grady's ever shit in the street. We just want to make that clear for the lawyers.
Yeah.
Paul O'Grady has, to our knowledge, never shit in the street.
I would say his bowel hygiene is beyond reproach.
I would imagine so. So, the For the Love of Dogs host has revealed that his beloved Pooch needed to do, quotes, his business while they were out.
Okay.
The ITV host explained that he is always conscientious about cleaning up after his dog.
Why do they have to put conscientious in quote marks?
Yes. I presume it's direct quote. They're not casting any doubt, but
I don't know.
But on this occasion, he confessed that he did not have a poo bag to clean up his dog's mess, and so decided to improvise. Speaking with Claudia Winkleman on BBC Radio 2 yesterday, Paul opened up about the awkward moment. So he decided to go for a soft soap interviewer to speak about this. He won't sit down with Emily Maitlis to answer the hard questions about what happened. He began, "When Buster was a puppy, I was out with him on the green. He did his business and I'm very conscientious. I always clean up after. And of course, no poo bag. All I had was a £5." So over I went, picked it up with a £5 and put it in the bin. The blankety blank presenter later went home to find the poo bag and dispose of the mess. Took Buster home, found the poo bag, went straight back, opened the bin, shook the £5 out into the poo bag, Paul said.
Not a word wasted.
But he had no plans to waste the cash, as he used the same money to buy a pint of milk. He added, went home, wiped the £5 down, and then went to the shop and bought a milk and a paper with it.
Oh, God. So, I'm just trying to think what you would do. I suppose it depends how soiled it was. But I don't know, maybe you'd put it into a bank machine, wouldn't you? Or pay it in.
Yeah, possibly. Although a bank machine's based predominantly on weight, isn't it? So would it recognise that £5 note necessarily? I don't know. There's particular logistical difficulties with that. Maitlis would have asked these questions.
Yeah, I think she would.
But of course, he opted for the friendly interviewer. Paul also recalled another awkward moment after the presenter found a poo bag in his pocket while he was up on stage accepting a prize at the National Television Awards.
He just needs to kind of, organise himself poo bag wise.
Yeah, he really should. You've got to get a system. I would say cargo pants.
Yeah,
but maybe that
would work.
Not on brand for O'Grady.
Plenty of pockets.
Paul's beloved dog Buster, who often appeared on TV with a small screen star, sadly died of cancer 12 years ago at the age of 14.
Oof, that's taking a turn.
Yeah. And it goes on after that, but it's no longer about dog poo bags. And frankly, it's lost my interest.
Fair enough.
Finally, Chris, I think that you've got a story about the presenter of John Craven's news round, John Craven.
Yeah, I have indeed. And this is by Chris Byfield, writing for theexpress.co.uk. Headline, John Craven startled viewers after naked bath clip unearthed. I can't unsee it. Countryfile viewers were startled after a clip of John Craven naked in a bath was featured among a selection of throwback clips of the show.
Yep, you would be startled.
Mr. Craven returns to screens tonight for Countryfile Ramble for BBC Children in Need 2021 at 6 p.m. In the 75-minute special, the Countryfile team travel across the UK to meet inspirational children. Matt Baker heads to the Lake District to meet Alfie and his family, all of whom were helped by Hope House's Children's Hospice after Alfie had his leg amputated after cancer treatments.
Yeah, I feel that your tone was a little too jaunty then there, Chris, for quite a sad tale. But
I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't meaning to. I'm sort of wondering where the bath is going to come in.
Yeah, indeed. And also, why is he Mr. Craven? Like he's appearing in
very
court.
Respectful.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's suggesting that he possibly committed a crime with this bath incident. I'm sure not.
Elder statesman. Maybe he just gets it. Steve Brown travels to the Mendips in Bristol to visit the 8-year-old sports-mad Violet, who is a liver transplant patient. Ellie Harrison will be in County Down to hear how a Children in Need funded charity, Women's Aid, helps children caught up in domestic abuse. All the while, veteran presenter Mr. Craven will be on hand to catch up with all the Countryfile team via video link.
What about the bath?
The 81-year-old joined the BBC in the 70s, becoming the host of regular children's news show Newsround, while in 1989, he began fronting Countryfile.
What about the bath, though, Chris? You promised me a bath.
I did. Calm yourself. In May, the presenter celebrated his 1250th episode at the helm of the countryside-themed programme.
None of which involved him in a bath.
To mark the occasion, the show included a montage of throwback clips spanning over 4 decades.
Okay, I think we're getting there.
However, one clip in particular piqued the interests of viewers. Mr. Craven in the bath, practicing for a snorkeling exercise.
Woohoo!
In the clip, Mr. Craven was armed just with a rubber duck and a snorkel and was only covered by a mountain of bubbles.
Now, this does sound like a court report. You could imagine a prosecuting QC gravely intoning, in the clip, Mr. Craven was armed just with a rubber duck and a snorkel and was only covered by a mountain of bubbles, Your Honour.
Why is he armed with a rubber duck?
A rubber duck is not if you're going to war, a rubber duck is no weapon.
I hope that wouldn't be what he would reach for in the event of a, bathing attack. And a mountain of bubbles. I mean, I've seen the picture. It's not a mountain to me.
Oh, let me have another quick look. I would say that is a light dusting of bubbles.
It's, it does the job. I'm sure you'll be relieved to hear. But
I would say that is the standard amount of bubbles that you'd get, with a normal bottle of matey.
Yeah, I mean, he's not Kim Kardashian, for God's sake. He's he's keeping it quite restrained, but decent, fundamentally decent.
Yeah, there's nothing here that I think would offend too many people. I don't know. I suppose some people may have took to social media to voice a view.
Well, let's just see. Mr. Craven says, I'm in training for a challenge Charlotte Smith sent me when she went snorkeling in Wales. A number of viewers took to Twitter to share their astonishment at the peculiar Countryfile archive footage. Maisie Moo Cow said, oh, good Lord, Crave in the bath. I can't unsee that. # brain bleach. Tight Beat added, Crave stood in the bath. Too much. With multiple exclamation marks and question marks. What I really like is the express.co.uk. They've obviously got such a clear rapport with their online readers that they give their complete usernames.
Yeah.
However, Woodsy by the Sea appreciated getting more than they had bargained for and said, my weekend is complete. I just saw John Craven in a bubble bath.
What a sentence.
At the beginning of the show, Mr. Craven did little to hint that his special would include such eyebrow-raising footage.
You think that they would? I mean, these days, you have to prefix every TV show with something that might be triggering. And I would suggest that seeing a picture of John Craven with just a light dusting of bubble bath between the viewer and his bollocks should give a kind of warning at the start.
Now, ladies, for my 1250th episode, you might want to forward your iPlayer to 3924 when you might get a glimpse of my country file. Imagine that, half a century. I can hardly believe it. He added, and more than 30 of those years have been spent here on Country File. So it seems like a good opportunity to share with you some of my favourite moments from all over Britain. To be honest, it kind of ends quite formulaically.
Yes, I think once you've talked about John Craven's bollocks, it's always going to be downhill from there.
Well, just so you don't miss it, he said the biggest thing he's learned was to always be yourself.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, we can all learn from that.
We'll be a little bit more Craven.
Anyway, that brings us to the end of such Craven. That's it. There's no more.
There really is no more until next time, which will be absolutely unbelievably, given what you've just listened to over the past 25 minutes. And the next one will be episode 50.
Yep. And to celebrate, we will be presenting it from a bath.
Yes, from our respected baths, not the same.
Socially distanced.
Obviously, we're keeping up socially distancing. So we'll be in our respected baths. I am going to have the Sailor bottle of Matey. I don't know which one you're going to go for, Chris.
I don't know. Maybe Santa Matey. I know it's too early, but I don't care.
In the interim, Chris, how can people interact with the Barely Contained brand online?
Well, should they wish, they can go to our Twitter home at barely_pod or visit Facebook, where they can type in Barely Contained the podcast and get all manner of past episodes, video clips, bloopers, basically anything you could possibly wish for.
You can indeed. And you can also, of course, subscribe to us on your podcatcher of choice, be that Apple or Google or Amazon or Spotify, and all the platforms. We're on all the platforms. You can review us 5 stars, please. Tell your friends, tell your haters, tell your neighbors,
tell your sub-sisters.
To absolutely tell your sub-sisters. The sub-sisters are the demographic we're chasing most aggressively at the moment.
Yeah. It's a market that's there to be cornered, I feel.
Well, until then, just leaves us to say bye-bye.
Bye.